just a quick chat on what happened on Australia Day shenanigans. Well, I was travelling down my back road, dirt road. There was a tree across the road. SES were there, police were there. I went past, I waved, I was friendly, I was happy. And they decided to follow me. I pulled over and it was on. I tried to talk my mumbo jumbo. They're just subjects, they're dead. They had no idea what I was talking about. And she decided, this cop and the female and the male. The female decided to grab my hands. She didn't say, you're now under arrest. She didn't ask me 3 times. She didn't read me my rights. She did nothing except start to grab my wrists. And I'm like, okay, what the hell? So I resisted. Yeah, maybe mistake one, but I was just standing there. She didn't read me my rights, so she had no right to be touching me. So I just stood there like, okay, well, do you want me to get my contract? Wasn't interested. Fair enough. She couldn't do anything with me because I'm just so strong. The guy steps in. He's like 6 times my size. Again, couldn't get me hands behind my back because I'm just solid as. And then eventually I'm like, my ambassador said, don't resist. So I'm like, fuck no. They didn't even read me my rights, but whatever. So I was like, okay, whatever. Do what you gotta do. And I was just very, 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 very forceful. And I said, oh, you're liking this, aren't you? You're sick, you're sicko. I'm bruised up on my wrists also. Anyway, they throw me in they arrested me, threw the cuffs on. Look, they didn't put them on very tight. They just kind of put them on thinking that'll do. Still pretty tight. It hurt to get them off, at least one off. One technically just slipped off. And they threw me in the back of the divvy. I'm like, all right, cool. And then they said they were from Mooroopna. I'm like, oh crap. So we're going all the way to Mooroopna, 30 minutes. But don't worry. If you're a cop, you get there in 10. I swear we were going so fast. Over 130, at least. Like, it was extreme speeds. I didn't mind being in the back and getting thrown in there and handcuffs on and all that. But I was actually more worried about them hitting a tree and me dying in the back of a fucking police car. Because of their demonic gestures. Anyway, so they threw me in the back, they got in the car. I'm like, oh, okay, this is easy, got them off. I knew there was cameras, so I kept my hands behind my back thinking, oh, I don't want them to see that I got them off. Then they started driving, and I thought, okay, cool, I'll just like start meditating, chuck my hands on my knees and that. And they braked real hard, didn't they? And I was sitting there in meditation state, and they opened the door, and I was sitting there, my eyes were shut, and they ripped me out, and I'm like, where are we? What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I'm in the fucking back of a divvy van. What possibly could I do? What possible trouble could I do? Anyway, they didn't give a shit. They put them on. They ripped me out. They slammed me up against the cop car, and that's when I asked him, "Oh, you're really enjoying this, aren't you? Like, are you getting off?" And he kind of was just like, "Not really. I don't really want to be doing this, but this is my senior, so I have to follow her. I've only been in the force a year and a half. Like, he didn't really want to be doing what he was doing. It's not what that's not what he signed up for. But anyway, that's the protocol." So yeah, they really put him on tight, and I'm pretty sure she said, she swore at me. She said something about fucking little bitch or something. I don't know. It was not professional at all. Not professional at all. So they put him on really, really tight. Painful, but I could shift the pain, so it wasn't painful anymore. My shoulders are quite sore, but whatever. My wrists are really sore, but whatever, I can handle that. So they threw me back in, and I was just talking to him in the camera in there. Whatever, I just was like, cool, no worries, let's go. And then it wasn't until we get to like 20 minutes up the road, they pull over and say, oh, we've verified who you are. You've got 3 options. We can take you back to the station and you can call somebody, or we can leave you here, or we can take you back to your vehicle. And I'm like, well, I don't need to go back to the station because I have a phone, so we don't need to go back to the station. No point really leaving me here if, my car's going to get towed anyway, so you may as well take me back to my car so I can grab my stuff. And then they took the cuffs off me and just, took me back to my ute and left me in the back. I just meditated, did my thing. It was a really nice experience. Actually, it was powerful because I was in such a state of love and light. So I'm like, yeah, go harder, just get it up. I was really, I asked them if they could hear me in the back, and they said yes. They shouldn't have said that because then I didn't shut up. And unfortunately, through all that, beginning there, I lost my camera turned off. So it's only word for word. It's not really important. Anyway, impound my car, whatever, that's fine. I was kind of tired of it anyway. I've been preparing myself for that for a year or two. So, you know, easy come, easy go. 2 court cases within the 28 days. So it's lining up divine. Absolutely perfect timing. Fantastic. And they dropped me at my car. They let me get my stuff. The guy was quite friendly. I said, look, I'm just going to take my time because I don't want to forget anything. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. You know, talked to me about my paint job and all that. Asked me if, you know, you saw something in my car and said, oh, do you maybe need your sunnies? And I'm like, oh, no, that's all right. I don't really use them. And, you know, so it was okay. And at the end, I shook his hand, and he was a little bit like, oh, shouldn't I? But he did. He shook my hand, and I said, look, a little bit heavy-handed, but, you know, I understand what you're doing. I get it. And I went to shake her hand as well, like, oh, good. I've forgave you. I've already forgiven you. So, and she would not shake my hand because of germs, yet she just slammed me up against the fucking police car and had her hands all over me. And she did pat me down, but only on the legs. Like, I could have had shit in my bra. Unfortunately, I didn't have a recorder on me because that would have been really good, but that's just what happens. I didn't ask for a superior. I didn't ask if I was under arrest, so there was lots of things I did wrong. That's all right. I'm back at it today. I'm not stopping, as you know, and that's where they dropped me off there. Well, they wanted to. I'm like, no, take me back to my vehicle. Yeah, I'm all right with this situation. I'm okay with it. I'm at peace. Last night was a tough night because I had to play it over and over and over again in my mind, which is frustrating because there's so many things I would have done differently. But I have to kind of realize that it's best to just let it all out, be at peace with it, let it go. There's no point thinking about the same thing 200 times because there's nothing I can do about it now. I'm really just waiting to get to court. Everything before court is just practice, so that's where my mind is at. Yeah, so, you know, like 28 days, I'm guessing I'll have to, or someone will get a permit, pump the tyre up, get a licensed person to pick it up, take it home, shove it in the shed until I've gone to the Supreme Court. Do what you got to do. At the end of the day, you know, I'm just here to protect what's mine, and that's my soul contract, and, you know, this. So everything else is easy come, easy go for me. I've already let it go. Like, if I wasn't spiritually in a good place, this could have really broken me, but I've been so broken so many times that, like, this just is making me stronger now. And it's a nice little test for myself to see that I have let go of a lot of stuff, and I'm in a new place, and I'm really excited for this year, and I know it's going to be a big one, and I know I have to go through the fire. God's molding me. I'm a beautiful piece of chunky ugly clay at the moment, but it's all right. I trust in the artsmanship of God's handiwork. So yeah, look, it is what it is. I'm in really good spirits. I'm really positive. Let's go again. I'm cool. I'm ready. Yeah, that's 10 minutes, so I'm going to wrap it up here. Thanks for all your support. Anyone who actually got through this video, thanks for watching. I know I ramble on, but sometimes I feel like it's just best to kind of try and speak what I've got going on, so other people can either just kind of learn from my mistakes, and yeah, eventually we win. It's just we got to get to the courts. Nothing's going to happen on the street in the impound lots. We got to get to the courts. So I've got a magistrates court. I have no paperwork for it. They just sent me an email. Not good enough, but that's all right. It's all practice. And then the county court later on, and I'm starting a 28-day juice fast on February 1. So I'm going to be in a pretty what I believe powerful state of mind, body and spirit. So I don't know, I don't think it's a good idea to be coming up against the living, but that's all right. It's your choice. I've been really nice, and I'll continue to be really nice, but there comes a point where I'm going to have to hold someone responsible for the liabilities and the losses. So yeah, look forward to it.